Well, it's almost 11 o'clock. Thought I'd let you all say, hey, fuck the police, how are you? How you doing, buddy? It's you are first, it looks like. Actually, it's showing me you ain't even here yet. If you'd like to come up on panel, you're more than welcome. This is a StreamYard. You're welcome to say whatever you want. Hold on, let me get this stupid thing over on YouTube. It's doing that stupid ass uh uh this is spam crap. Hey, sure dog, how are you, buddy? I hope you're well. Hope things are going well for you. Just waking up, getting some coffee in me, having my first cigarette even. Snowing like a bitch outside. This is the first time I've ever seen what lake effect snows look like. I mean, it ain't bad. It ain't as bad as what many people have said it is. Has been in the past, but it's quite interesting to see. If anybody wants to come up, the link's in there now. You can come up. All that. You'll let me do it now. Probably not. Ah, there's StreamYard link. Cool. It's like the first time I don't want to ever put it up there. Okay, cool, sir, dog. I'm glad you're working good and things are going good for you, bud. Good thing. Hold on, sir. I'll get you up here, buddy. Hey, buddy, how you doing, man?
Well, I'm all right, man. How y'all?
I'm doing great right now. It's snowing like a bitch, but besides that,
Well, you the dumbass that moved to New York, so I don't want to hear it.
I'm the dumbass of my people. I don't know. Yeah, good to see how things go, man.
I
Uh,
got two lane closures in. Here, check it out.
oh wow, yeah, I see that. Awesome. I'm glad you got a. I'm glad you got yourself a good job, man. I know. I know that it's got to be a decent job at least.
It's all right. It's dangerous as fuck, though.
Oh yeah, you got all the idiots out there on that freaking road. You ain't kidding.
Yeah, I already had to argue with one guy over this lane closure that this first one I just showed you. He jumped out of his car. I said, "You need to move your damn car over there." Well, why are you doing this? I said, "You can't read them signs back there." Fuck dumb son of a bitch. And they don't pay. Man, we could have them inflatable tube guys flopping the fuck around on every sign we got. And some bitches still wouldn't look at it.
Yep, you're right. You're right. Half of them don't even care. You know, that's why there's wrecks in those lane closures and everything else all the time. It's like them signs don't even exist. I've seen that time and time again. Them people are idiots out there. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Just up
What are
here,
you doing?
they had a big wreck. What was it? 4 days ago, they shut down the lane similar to what you did, so they could work on some piping. And the guy came flying through, hit like three or four of the stake trucks, and almost killed himself. And they finally got him stable, and they asked him what had happened and all that. He said, "I didn't even see the signs, man." So,
Yeah, it's because the dumb son bitch wasn't paying attention.
yep, yep. Basically, what it is, see, up here in New York, it's big time fine if you get caught driving and texting or driving and talking on the phone and shit. I bet you what he did was he was on a fucking phone, you know,
Yeah, probably.
and he didn't want to tell him he was on the phone. He just saying, I didn't see the signs.
Well, I thought I'd jump up here and say, hey.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I'm glad things are going good for you, man. I really am.
Well, I work. That's all I know.
Yeah, right now I'm in between the construction jobs where I'm working at, so that's why I got a little time off. Next one starts up in about a week. Can't wait until that starts. Get that money going back to my pocket. It's been nice to have that type of money in my pocket. So, and what we're doing is we're tearing down the inside of houses and replacing all the stuff inside of it.
Oh, you're just doing a bunch of remodeling.
Yeah, pretty much. And then the guy that owns the houses is putting them out on market as rental units.
Right.
Like some of these houses, they ain't seen nothing since back in the free. We literally had to go in the zoot suits tearing some of these houses down because it's all fucking. It's still got the old asbestos in it and shit.
Oh yeah, you'll run across that.
Yeah, I mean it's freaking. Some of these houses ain't seen no remodeling at all since probably when they were put in here in the 30s. You know.
Oh hell yeah, every bit. But
But it's
yeah.
been interesting some of the shit that we found. One thing we found, we were going through, we tore out this wall in a kitchen in a house. Now, of course, everything goes to the owner because he owned it, you know. But we found some old Yankee money from back in the Civil War time in a kitchen.
Well, hell, I got a Confederate $20 bill.
That's cool as heck too. You know, I found those before down in Missouri and down in Florida and Georgia when I was tearing down stuff down in those areas. But that's the first time finding something like that, Civil War stuff like that up here in New York. It was really quite interesting. It's a
Right. Yeah. There's a place called Kennesaw down here in Georgia.
yeah.
It's
I've been
right
to
next to
Kennesaw.
Marietta. Okay. Well, they got the battleground right there. It's Kennesaw Battleground.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh sure. Think about getting me a metal detector and go for me a little walk in them woods.
You'd be surprised what you'll find. I'll tell you that now. You probably find buttons and all sorts of shit. There was a guy that I knew that owned some land not far from Kennesaw. All right. And he went out on his land, metal detecting. He's found everything. He even found an old freaking musket.
Yeah, that's what I'm after. I'm trying to find one of them, old flintlock rifle, something.
Yeah. Well, they used more percussion during the Civil War, the Enfield and Springfield. But
you ever been to Kennesaw?
I've been there once. Yes, there was a Civil War reenactment there about I'm wanting to say about 15 years ago that I went to.
Well, they say. Well, actually, my buddy Kevin told me this yesterday. If you get up on top of that mountain right there, you can see 3 states.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking about maybe one weekend or something, getting my buddy Steven and all those. We just go for a little walk up that mountain.
That would be
I like
cool,
to see
man.
that. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful up there. I've been to the top. Like I said, it was like 15 years ago. It's pretty up there. It's real pretty, and they do say you can see 3 states up there. So you don't really see the difference. You know,
Well, right, but you can still see. Yeah, my buddy Kevin was telling me, hell yeah, you walk up that mountain and shit, and you can see over in the tree line where them cannons busted through them trees and all that shit. That'd be pretty cool to look at too.
Yep. Yep. Hey, Jinwell, how you doing? Come on, El Ray, how you doing?
I'm gonna
But,
get off here, man. Let somebody else have a chance.
all
Much
right.
love,
Well,
man.
anyway,
Thanks to all y'all.
all right. You have a good bud. Enjoy
All right.
talking with you.
Peace.
Peace. I hope y'all are doing well today, Jim Well, and I'll come on Rail Ray. I hope y'all doing good too. I'm glad to see Sewer Dog's doing well. Fuck the police. Hope you're doing good today. It's chilly here. When I woke up, it was 4 degrees with a wind chill of negative 22. So yeah, it's chilly here. Yeah, I'm glad he gets. I'm glad he comes in and says hi every once in a while and things like that. He keeps checked in and things like that. I really worry about him. He's a good guy. I do not. I do not. Jim Well, I do not. That's a name I ain't seen in a while as well. There you go, Jim Well. Laying low, lay high instead. Yes. Oh, Smiley's on right now. Okay, cool. Good, good, good. Uh, all I know is I woke up. I felt like doing the stream yards. I'm tired, still a little sleepy. Still trying to wake up. Ain't even had my first cup of coffee. All right, sure, dog. You be safe out there, bro. Well, like I said, I'm glad he checks in, makes sure he lets us know he's doing good every now and again. He's a good man. He really is. Hey, 5 Speed. Hope you're well, buddy. Hope you're well. Uh, but yeah, that was actually pretty cool the other day finding that old Yankee money in that house. It was a few bills and a couple of coins. It was pretty cool. That's the first time I ever found Yankee money in a house. I found plenty of Confederate money in different places, tearing it down, but that's the first for Yankee money. I would probably say with the silver coins and the two gold coins that were in that jar, that that guy probably paid for that probably paid for that guy on half the money he spent on that house. Just saying. And also got to see a neat bit of history. You don't get to see that often. But the link's out there, guys. If you want it, come on up. Hell, Salty Grant can come up. Rick Crew can even come up. Uh, we all know how I feel about him. That could be an interesting time. They ain't blocked from StreamYard. Yeah, I might even let me do something here. Because I blocked Salty Grant because he pissed me off the other day. Trying to play that two fence shit. I'll even unblock the Salty Grant. There's that. There we go. Salty Grant is now unblocked. But we can talk about the GameStop. I thought that was funny as heck. Morning, Texas Sessions. How are you? I thought that was funny as heck. That old boy got to talking on his YouTube channel about the GameStop and how he thought it can make a comeback and things like that. And it wound up going from $18 to $300 and some dollars, damn near overnight. Now it's back down to 190 something. But that was like one of the biggest gains in stock market history in a day's time, in a day to a day and a half's time. I thought that was funny as hell. And people will be surprised that I think I think GameStop is being screwed with by the government because they instantly shut down that guy's uh, um, thing that he started up to try to get people to, because people were wanting to buy stock at GameStop, but they didn't want to go through these big investment firms that take like so much of your money. So he started his own thing, and they shut it down. It lost generations. There you go, you buy a seat. And they shut down his little thing that got to where people could buy that stock at at one time. It was as low as $5. Most of them bought at 18. Um, it's ridiculous that shows you right there the government is manipulating the market, and if you do anything to mess with their manipulation of the market, they're going to shut you down. And he was a legitimate business, but they shut him down because all these people did that through his little investment LLC that he had. That's insane, you know. But that shows you the government's the one fucking with your money, big time. Or they wouldn't have shut him down. They would have praised him for actually getting a stock that was a faltering stock back to where it was a decent stock, and hopefully getting a business going. Instead, it looked like they were trying to get GameStop off the freaking face of the earth. And we all know how what the Democrats feel. Um, maybe, guys, maybe, but we also know how the Democrats feel about violent games and uh, violent this, and we don't need law Red Dawn or whatever that fucking Lost Redemption bullshit, whatever. You know, I don't play those games. I don't know the names of them very well. But all them different games that they say are violent, they don't think we should have them out. No kids should be subjected to it and things like that. So I think they were trying to get GameStop off the stock market and to crash and to falter and fail. Because we know they've been attacking games for years. Hell, they made it in the news for damn near a year about trying to get games off the freaking so kids couldn't play games like that. And now they got these different guidelines just to sell games like that. Um, it's insane. So yeah, the street, the Wall Street, the street paved with bad intentions. Definitely the street paved with bad intentions. Um, and they're saying he had bad intentions. No, the bad intentions is like I said, the government was trying to shut down GameStop. As far as I'm concerned, this is why they went full bore, full tilt on the guy. They were wanting it gone because, like I said, we all know they've been saying that kids should never be able to play these violent games like Grand Theft Auto. Hell, there was a campaign to get rid of Grand Theft Auto when Grand Theft Auto came out by the Dems in California. Um, so why? Well, they realized their campaign to get rid of it through the people was failing. So why not make the places that sell these games falter and fail and make them look like junk and crap? Well, when the people spoke, it when the people spoke, they got scared. They had to shut that down. It wasn't going with their narrative. It wasn't doing what they wanted to do. They wanted the GameStop to be gone. Now they can't do what they want to do. Uh, it went against everything they wanted going on. And to have bad intentions, I don't understand how you could have bad intentions when the people were knowing they were going in. If you watched his videos, knowing they were going into a venture of a faltering, floundering, to changed out CEOs 5 times in a year company. So they knew they were going into this, but now the people have controlling interest of that company, and now the government has very little say so, except for what they can do um, as far as trying to keep them shuttered, which they already started their shuttering by by getting rid of the company that sold the stock. Well, I want you to understand Union Electric, one of the biggest electric providers in the United States, has gone into contract with China. There were stories on it less than a month ago. Uh, and I put some of the links in my stream when I did the story about that. So Union Electric, one of the biggest electric companies in the United States, and electric providers in the United States, is now in contract with China. So that can happen. That could happen very easily. Happen with China or any other or some other country doing that. And plus, Biden gave like almost a 90-day reprieve to anybody who wants to fuck with our goddamn electrical grid, and that's even more messed up if you ask me. Basically, he said, "Come mess with it, do what you want, and nothing will happen." So, and I sent links to that in a different thing I did on that as well. Uh, Different things I've done where I was talking about Biden and him allowing basically a 90-day reprieve for that for any country. Well, I'll tell you now, you'll have about 10 days of little pockets here and there, people going a little bit nuts for wondering if they're going to get their food or whatever if the electric grid goes out. But after 10 days, you're going to see mass panic in the street of not having electric. And I can guarantee you that if that happens, you will see in about 10 days mass panic in the street. When people can't go to Tops or Winn-Dixie or Piggly Wiggly or Walmart or whatever and get their food because they can't keep it fresh anymore and keep it to where it ain't rotting anymore and put it out on their shelf. You will see people start having mass panic. Yes, they do. At the police, they do have electric motors. I mean, so there's some interesting things that are set up, and like I said, a lot of people keep claiming Biden's just signing a blank piece of paper every time he signs a piece of paper saying he's enacting a presidential order. Well, here's the thing: if that's the case, think of the damage if he is president. That could be done with a blank piece of paper with the president's signature on it. That can put us into binding contracts. They can take that away from him, put their own wordings to it, and they will be the only beneficiary of the contract and put us into a binding contract that will never be good for the United States people. And they'll be the only beneficiaries to it. So you better hope and pray that he ain't. It's just the freaking shit that can be rescinded, and people can say, "Fuck you, we don't have to listen to you," which has been done. Or do we soon forget what the cops said when Obama was trying to ban guns and things like that, and the cops said, "Fuck you, Obama. We ain't gonna go to people's houses and take their guns from them. Fuck you. We ain't doing this. We ain't gonna make a criminal out of a non-criminal." And that presidential order basically went to the wayside. So people can stand up against these presidential orders when they feel as though they're unlawful. and have no merit or no constitutional bearing. But remember, when you ask for something, here's a scary thing. See, Biden has a contingency plan for that as well. So you're going to have to be in a place where you're more secure than what you think you are. Because Biden made a contingency plan for people that say, fuck you, we ain't going to listen to your dang unlawful, unconstitutional presidential order. And that's called, right now, he's already got 2,000 of them deputized that we know of. And he deputized United States Marshals. And they can come into your house just because they want to, just because they said they got a phone call, just because. Okay. They have no checks and balances like the police force did. Okay. The police to come into your house have to lawfully have a warrant. Okay. And how they were presenting those warrants and doing those warrants. Now, that wasn't right. That was wrong. But they still had to have a warrant. These people don't have to have a warrant. Marshals do not have to have a warrant. They can walk in and say, hey, we got a phone call. They don't have to tell you who the phone call was. They don't have to give you anything. They can make up the fact that it's a fucking phone call that they got and walk into your house with 20 of them and say they want to search your house and seize anything out of your house. So be careful what you ask for when you're asking to get rid of something that does have checks and balances. You might get something that ain't going to give it, don't have a check and balance, which that's 2,000 of that we know of. How many are there that we don't know of? You become a U.S. Marshal by deputization, CNSA. You can't become a member of that until you have you put your hand up and you say, "Yes, I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that." Been there, seen the fucking inauguration for it. Don't even go there. So until you know what you're talking about, don't come in here and say you think you know there's something to talk about, because you do deputize U.S. Marshals. They have to put their hand up and they got to say, yes, I go by this, that, and the other thing. And they even give an oath to the Constitution, but yet they're the most unconstitutional branch, the most unconstitutional thing there is. No, I am correct, because I hate to tell you, every game and fish warden is a United States Marshal. Okay. And every freaking month when they have their classes that they pass, they have to go be deputized. Again, I do know what I'm talking about here. My uncle had to be deputized. My other uncle had to be deputized. So I know what I'm saying, say. And they're U.S. Marshals, every damn one of them. So I am correct. Hey, Joe Cool, what's up, man? Hey, King Nine. Anybody wants to come up here, have their say, you can see and say, you can. You're welcome to. But don't. But I hate to tell you, uh, that's something I know a little bit of something about. uh, hey, King Nine. Hey, but hello, hello, Joe Cool. Hello, CNC. Sorry, I jumped at you real quick there. Advise me. Uh, But that's just me and you having a difference of opinion, CNC. Don't think I'm actually going after you just to fucking make you, just to go after you, man. That's us having a difference of opinion. All right. I'm not trying to really be too much of a dickhead to you. All right. That's us having a difference of opinion and me speaking my mind, you typing your mind. But you're welcome to come up here if you'd like and speak your mind. Joe Cool, you're welcome up here if you want to come up here. Anybody's welcome to come up here. I just put the link out and all that. I just wanted to let y'all. I just want you to know we're just having a difference of opinion there. So you say, okay, I still respect you, man. I really do. Uh, that's something I have to say. So you can say I do respect you. I always have, and we're pretty much on the same page on a lot of things. So you can say to let you know. But that's also why my two uncles that were Game and Fish Commission officers quit being on the law side of the Game and Fish. One quit the Game and Fish completely. The other one became a biologist of the Game and Fish and quit doing the law enforcement part of it because they they gave that oath to uphold the Constitution against foreign and domestic enemies. Well, when they started trying to uphold their part of that bargain, they got reprimanded for trying to get people reprimanded for not doing their job properly and upholding the Constitution and started becoming tyrannical. And so, needless to say, they both quit. One went to the biology, and the other one went to just quit completely. So they didn't like that. One was never in the military. The other one was. One was on the USS Enterprise uh, um, in Vietnam. Well, I Lost Generation. I talk about a little bit of everything if you want me to. Right now, the topic is how fucked up the government is. Period. I mean, uh, I mean that's a broad topic, basically. That's a pretty broad subject. That covers a lot of shit. Right now, that's what I'm doing. There you go, known justice. But anybody's welcome to come up here. You can talk. You can jump my ass. You can do whatever. This is where that's for. If you want to come up and jump my ass, if you want to come up, say your piece, whatever, you can. I don't care. That's what this part of this section. Um, uh, this ain't a live through YouTube. This is StreamYard. I am having to refresh my page. It's great. I love it. Every time I have a little heated discussion with someone, people try to start doing stuff, and it's great. Can't even get their own. Can't even get their own material, which is sad. Come in and try to hijack. Now that shit cracked me up right there, though, Justice. Uh, no shit. That's just funny. Depicted him very well, though, Justice. Depicted him very well. Hey, Ricky G. If you want to come up here and talk about that, Joe, cool, come on, man. I'll gladly talk about that. Because I actually had an argument about that in another person's room about this one guy saying we all need to drop the Republican Party and go Democrat. And then I'm like, we don't need to drop both any party. We got to back. We got to back the people that are there. So had that argument in a different room about 2 days ago. Oh, okay, Joe. Okay. Um, but and I don't think we should be demonetizing any parties. Honestly, I think everybody should have the right to say what they say and do what they do and have the money to do it if the people are willing to give the money. Again, that's something I cannot agree with. Hey, Joe, what's up, buddy?
What's going on? Are you saying we have to back the people who are there?
No. I'm saying back who you want to back.
Yeah, but aren't both of these fucking parties the way the system's set up? We can't win. They're diametrically opposed to each other, and they just keep arguing each other. So, is your solution we choose the side and back that guy?
My solution is back who you want.
No, I heard that.
If you feel as though, like you're saying, that it cannot be done properly this way, why not make a new party and back that person?
All right.
So they can come in. So they can come in and be that middleman voice for us and say,
Right.
"You're both fucking wrong."
Very good. What do you think about the two-party system as it exists now? It's not technically we have third party libertarian and write-ins and shit, but they can't be effective in any legitimate way. What do you think about the two-party system that we have now?
Right now, I'm in agreement with you because you'll sit there either have 4 to 8 years of Democrats and they're doing their thing, and then you'll have 4 to 8 years of Republicans and they're there to undo everything the Democrats did.
Yes, and then 16 years later we do it all again.
Right. You're right. It's a no-win situation in a bullshit.
Yeah. I think it was James Madison who said the worst thing he can imagine would be a two-party system.
Right.
Yeah, we've been there for a while.
Yeah, and yes, I've watched that almost every election when a new president comes in. Oh, I'm going to undo everything that last president did, and I'm going to do this. And then they'll go as far to the right or as far to the left as they can go when they do it.
Then the next president comes in and drags it back his direction, and then we do it all over again when the next party comes in. This is bogus bullshit meant to keep us dancing and arguing with each other while they rob us of our money and our freedoms, in my opinion.
Oh, I'm in total agreement with you, Joe, and I've had that fight, and that's why that one guy he brought up, we need to get rid of both the parties. I'm like, no, what we need to do is get another party and get a third voice and a fresh voice in there, and let them, and then you see where that goes. And I'm talking one that's actually effective, not like the Libertarian or the Tea Party or something like that, because they have proven to be very ineffective.
Agreed. Maybe both are right though. Getting rid of the parties and we voting on a human for what we think he can do. That may be the way to go. Or I don't know, working with the parties we have and trying to get these motherfuckers to stop fighting, which seems just a tall hill to climb, and get them to act in our interest.
any way you look at it right now, because the government is definitely in their own interest, not the people's interest. It's going to be a hill to climb, and they're going. But like I was just saying, just a little bit ago with the GameStop thing, the guy never even intended to make GameStop stock go from $5 to $319 in a day and a half.
How did GameStop stocks go up?
He all he did was get on his dang YouTube page and actually gave alternative ways of thinking about how the stock is going and what this company can and will be. And people went fucking nuts with his ideas and fucking just started buying the damn stock, so the stock went up.
Who was the guy who said that? He must be a pretty powerful or wise dude.
No, he was a little pissant that was sitting in a dang fucking basement, trying at night, talking at night in his basement, real quiet like, so he didn't wake up his daughters while they were asleep upstairs.
Oh shit! I got a call, Tammy. I'll be back.
All right, go ahead. Let's see here. As a matter of fact, I had that. Where is that? I hope I didn't. Let's see here. I mean, several people are doing stuff on this particular thing right now. How Ribbit traders use GameStop to totally spank Wall Street big boys. I mean, they're on Robinhood. They're open to trade on Robinhood now. A billionaire literally crying over lost fortune due to GameStop shares. I mean, there's all sorts of shit right now. They're doing a lot on it. I had the guy's name. I accidentally went away from it. I'm trying to find the deal on him that I watched. See if I can find it again. But he was just some little old pissant sitting in his basement. That was what was great about that, you know. I hate when I find a story and I accidentally move away from it, not meaning to. And I lose the story. Here. Trying to think. Was it GTM? Was the other one I watched? I'll find it again eventually. Put a link out here for you. They ain't wanting to bring it up right now, of course. Well, for right now, I ain't got it. Sorry. Young Turks has a video. There you go. White House cannot stand, and they obviously know that, and they social engineer society in ways that makes it seem we need the left and right. You're right on that. Lost generation, escaping the end-term capitalism period, which we are in, and introducing socialism from a go. Order of government is the most ethical and most common sense thing to do. Never. A socialistic government is not the most ethical and most common sense thing to do. It makes lazy. It makes lazy and incomplacent people that will follow at the whim of a madman. And if you don't believe me, look. And if you don't follow the whim of the madman, they shoot you and kill you. If you don't believe me, go look at China. So, no, socialistic form of government is not the most ethical and common sense thing to do ever. It makes lazy, incomplacent people, period. People not willing to work, people not willing to think for themselves, people not to, and so complacent that the complacency we see today is minor compared to the complacency that comes with uh, uh, with a socialistic government. No, that's the problem. Lost generations. It cannot be implemented properly. There's too many people that want the power that comes with that. So you'll never see it implemented properly. It is not the most ethical because of the simple fact you can't get away from the power hungry people that will abuse it and use it for their own means. So until you can get past that, which unfortunately greed is part of a human's nature, uh, she'll never see it implemented properly in the way you think it should be implemented. Just saying, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just giving you truth. Uh, and that's what has hurt anything of that possibly being implemented properly in your eyes is greed, the power, the money, anything that comes along with that. Uh, so they expect you to become complacent. They expect you to become a non-thinker. They expect you to be their little robot. And if you don't, they shoot you and they kill you, or they get they deputize 100 fucking or 2,000 fucking uh, uh, U.S. Marshals, and then they go from there, and then don't tell you how many they actually truly deputized until it's too late. They're coming into your homes to take you out. Um, just saying, you think you're safe now? You thought you were unsafe with the regular police? You're crazy. You're insane. Your safety just went out the window at all, and at all costs. Yeah. Like some of the stuff I've been watching out of Australia, where cops are going into people's houses under the saying that they're there for COVID and just walking in basically without no warrants or anything else. Another one, a lady had a medical condition where she couldn't wear a mask, and they went to her house after letting her go and arresting her.
What up, bro?
To begin with, hey, five, uh, they arrested her to begin with, and then let her go and apologized to her, and then they let her. They came back to her house and tried to arrest her again for the same thing. So it's freaking insane. Let me do a refresh here. Live speed, I can't hear you right this second. Let me just.
Okay.
let me refresh, and I'm gonna go do that real quick.
What's up, everybody in the chat? Hope everybody's having a good day.
All right, I'm back, buddy.
All better?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hey, A1.
That's good. No, man, I just wanted to jump up. You were talking a couple different topics there. I just wanted to kind of touch on them a little bit here. If we look at what's happening with GameStop and this whole deal, all of this is being brought to the American people's eyes at this point in time. And if we can get away from all the other crazy shit and think solely as an individual, and we know none of this shit is right. We can start to pick up the deceptions that they've laid down. The whole system, this whole cabal. This is the fall of the cabal. You go back to the #1 executive order that Donald Trump signed when he took office was human trafficking. The very first trip that he did when he got into office was he went to Israel, or I'm sorry, not Israel, Saudi Arabia. You know, Saudi Arabia, the king and everybody was praising the president of the United States in the streets in their country, which is unheard of. And not only that, no one touches that sword that the king has, right? Donald Trump had that sword. Donald Trump introduced peace in the Middle East. You haven't seen this on your mainstream propaganda boxes because it's all controlled, it's all fiction. It is a movie that is being played out by Hollywood.
Well, let's hold on. Actually, there you are seeing it. It's just you got to see it in the light that when they don't speak about something, it speaks volumes.
Correct. So, with that being said, now after he left Saudi Arabia, where did he go?
Wasn't it Israel?
Israel, and then after that, where did he go?
I'm not.
The Vatican, right?
Okay.
And then he ended up staying an extra day in the Vatican. I wonder why he ended up having to stay an extra day in the Vatican. Because Donald Trump turned the Pope on to all the evidence of all of their illicit, disgusting, foul, evil actions throughout decades. And he basically told him, hey, listen, I know it's a lot to take in, but he wasn't leaving there until the Pope signed some very valuable and important documentation. We are witnessing the fall of the cabal, folks, and be prepared. Spread as much love across this planet as you can possibly spread, because you're going to be dependent on your neighbors and people of like minds. They have divided us, you know, with this democracy that they keep talking about, when America is not a democracy. America is a republic, solely, not by many, solely run on principles and sound doctrine. So this is where they've divided everybody, and then their feelings get into play, and we can't really communicate because some people are further in the depths of all of this than others, and their feelings won't let them catch up. But they will catch up eventually, because you're not going to have any choice. You're about to enter into a newborn republic where Donald Trump, July the 4th in 2020, when he was in Mount Rushmore, declared America's independence once again. But see, everybody's out here dibbing and dabbing in all this negativity and ain't really doing any solely research themselves. So, you know, that's why I don't come around on YouTube much anymore. You know what, dude, I'm about done with it all. And you know, we can't argue particulars here and there, but the bottom line is, is some of us free thinkers, we're right, even though you want to pinpoint a few principles that we may be off a number here or off a number there. Dude, that's a distraction. You're taking away from the big picture here. You know, who cares if they made 3 billion instead of 2 billion? Who cares? The
Mhm.
fact of the matter is, what they were making, whether it was 1 or 3, it was wrong.
All
But see,
right,
people
Wilson.
want to dib and dab into the net. Well, you were wrong on that number. You know what? Nobody's perfect. And it is an awful lot of information, like some of us have. I'm sure you've done a lot of research too, Will. And,
Mhm.
it's hard to keep track of all that. I've probably forgotten more than some of these advocates out here. No, you know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah.
Because I thrive on the research. I thrive on being, how do I want to say it, righteous and honorable.
Mhm.
I thrive on being able to stand with convictions, and when I get up on these panels and start talking some serious fucking truth, I don't want to
Mhm.
spread misconceptions and distortions and all of that, because, well, I'd just be no better than them evil bastards now, wouldn't I?
Mhm.
All
Yep.
right, man. I said my 2 cents today. Hopefully, it helps everybody and kind of ascends of the mind a little bit to take those blinders down on that jurisdictional box that state of has put your mind in, and
Right.
solely become a free thinker individually with those inherent individual birthrights.
Right.
In a
Which
democracy, the mob rules. In that republic, ooh, those individual inherent rights rule.
yep.
What side of the fence are you on, folks? Become learned. Peace is coming. Peace is coming.
We'll see. I think it's going to get a hell of a lot worse before it gets any better.
Well,
Right.
after he left Saudi Arabia and then he left the Vatican, he was in where? Went over to visit the Queen, and they said he was a disrespectful little douchebag, right? Because he walked in front of the Queen. How dare you walk in front of the Queen?
Oh
What,
my
really?
God.
Really? Really? So now all of a sudden, the United States, that democracy that they talk about all the time, is bowing to the Queen? Oh, I
Right.
don't know. I thought America, the Republic, was the land of the free. We set the
Uh,
fucking standards we don't adhere to.
right. And I thought we already fought that fucking goddamn fight with England a long time ago to
Yep.
tell them, "Fuck you. We don't have to listen to you."
Hey, man, Tammy, Will, I appreciate you giving me that 5 minutes up here.
Yeah.
I might come back here in a
But
little
am
bit.
I correct? Did we fight that battle with them though back in the
Yeah,
day when? Yeah.
yeah,
To
absolutely.
tell
But
that.
see, the battle now with
Yeah.
people is these puppeteers sitting up there called government. The battle is now is to gain control of our minds back. You see what I'm saying? They're the
Yeah.
ones who put this in your mind, in that
Mhm.
jurisdictional box that they got you confined in, and you better not step outside, right? Don't think
Mhm.
outside the box. Let me keep you there encaged in that cage somewhere, in that state of where I can
And that's what they're trying to
manipulate
do
you.
with all the censorship and everything else. That's exactly what they're trying to do.
Absolutely.
And A1 Hinman says the Vatican believes in population control in their search for life in space. They are NWO. Well, you know, I can't say anything bad about for the search of life in space for the simple fact that's something that's been going on for 10,000 years since the beginning of man. Or have you not looked at the hieroglyphics of different places and things like that? The search for life in outer space has been from the beginning of time. So just saying. uh,
As far as that population control, my friends, they've been doing that for a very, very, very long time.
oh yeah. Black
See,
Plague,
they got us
bubonic
so
plague.
involved in these materialistic things like the fancy cars and the fancy houses that we've really forgotten where we came from. And you know, you talk about that stock market and GameStop and all of this stuff.
Mhm.
Well, if
Mhm.
you think about it, all of these titles, you've heard me say it before, they're just when you know, like when you register your car, they'll send you a certificate of title, just as well as Bitcoin or anything else of that nature. You may have a certificate that says that you're holding something of value,
Mhm.
but you're not holding any real value. No precious metals in your hand. It is a piece of paper.
Well, who's to say what precious metals is more expensive than the other? I mean, honestly.
Correct. Correct.
So
Those
even
precious
the
metals
precious
are
metal in hand don't
resources.
mean shit. The precious metal in your hand don't mean shit if it ain't considered precious by. Let's say
Well,
okay.
I think you're going off. You kind of the gold and silver in the Constitution is gold and silver is the only thing to be coined, right? See, that's where I'm going back. I don't need, you
Well,
know what I'm saying?
What made that fucking that? A man. A man made
Well,
that worth anything.
well, what did they put at What did they put at Jesus, baby Jesus' feet? I mean, it goes on back biblically. So,
And
uh,
still, yet again, who put a value to gold and silver? A man.
well,
Who
it's
sets
right.
the value of gold and silver? A
That's
man.
right. That's
What
right.
is more important? Something you could give that
But that is equal.
that a person needs or wants, or something that a man put a fucking dollar sign to.
That's right. That's called fair and equal consideration.
Right.
See
So
there?
that's
We're
the point I was
all
getting at with
created
that. Well,
equal.
I know you were in the you're in the same ballpark on me
Oh
as
yeah.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just wanted to make that more clear. And the only reason I bring up this stuff with the stock market stuff, okay, is there's still billions of people out there that need to wake up. Okay. And if that's the one little step that helps get them that glimmer of light back in their fucking brain and quit being the fucking robot and
You're
open their
welcome, Lost
brain and
Generation.
start opening their brain to a bigger way of thinking, then I'm going to do it. And that's why I bring up the stock, talk about it,
All right, guys. Again,
show them where it's going, things like that. Maybe it might help give that spark to their brain, to open their eyes to a bigger picture. You know what I'm saying?
plant that seed and let that
Yep.
mind grow. All
Right.
right. Well, thanks again, my friend, for letting me up. Hopefully, I leave you guys a
Anytime,
little bit
you're
better
welcome.
than I came in with. So, everybody have a blessed day.
Yes, you too, 5 Speed. You're
Take
always
care,
welcome up
everybody
here.
in the
You
chat.
know that.
Oh, absolutely. I know it will. Be easy, my friend.
Yep, you do, man. Like I said, now I'm not denying you A1 henchman with the Vatican seeing that, but you also noticed the Vatican got real quiet real quick after Trump went there. I do agree with him. I didn't know that was the next stop he made, but I do. That's something that really caught my attention. After Trump went to the Vatican got real quiet real quick, and they were outspoken, vocal, and going to town with what they had to say. Up to that. So, I'm just saying, it might be some truth to what Weisby's saying. I don't know. I ain't seen the documents. I can't say that there is, but there is evidence to prove, you know, uh, maybe something had happened. But lost generations. Get back to your subject of of the government you want to see laid and played. Again, you may be correct that it may be the best government outlay if it's implemented correctly. There's a big problem with that implication, and it's an inherent disease in man called greed. Until you're able and capable of getting past that particular thing, you will turn into another China, another North Korea, and any other government that has tried to lay them plans into play. And then the ruling class become greedy and turn it into what they call communism instead. So, again, it is not a good government to have because you cannot get greed out of people. And that's the whole problem with that. Now, Five Speed brought up a very good point, and I agree with him on that. And that is, you're going to have to, there's going to come a time where you're going to have to depend on your neighbor. Your neighbor's going to have to depend on you. Your friends are going to have to depend on you, and you're going to have to depend on your friends because everybody's got different ways of thinking. Everybody has different knowledges in different fields. All right. So you're going to have to rely on each other to be able to prosper. And that's the only true way that can actually be implemented. But then again, you're going to have to be careful of the greed factor that comes along with that. Because there's going to be some dude out there that says, nope, 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 nope. And then inflates the price because he really don't have to get rid of it. Instead of saying, no, I don't want to get rid of it or I don't have to get rid of it, he just inflates the price and you're dumb enough to run with it. Well, don't be dumb enough to run with that inflated price. Be smart enough to walk away and find someone else who has the same thing you're looking for that will give it to you at a decent price, whatever the price may be. A day's worth of work, some vegetables out of a garden, whatever. Okay. So you got to be very careful with that because and I, I'm saying this because of the greed. And there will be people that want to come into power that are going to be greedy people and turn what you think is a utopian uh, thing into a communistic thing quickly because of the complacency of the mind that brings, which it does. I'm sorry, it don't give you another way to think about things. Everything's perfect, everything's whatever. Well, the problem with that is you become very complacent. You become very one-minded, and that stuff you have to be very much worried about if you try to do that type of government. I'm telling you that now. Them are key factors, and that's why they want that, and to try to make it look good to people is because then they can get you into a one-mind thinking. A one best way I could think of it, they turn you into the Borg off of Star Trek. You ever watch Star Trek? They have the Borg and they have the hive mind. Okay. And they're all thinking the same exact thing at the same exact time, doing the same exact thing, and it's supposed to be for the best. Um, it's for the best. It's for the best. Well, that's what they want you to think about that, but it don't work that way, unfortunately. You can't have a hive mind. You don't. You get stagnant. You get polluted, and then you got just keep going with the pollution that they give you, uh, and the stagnation that they give you, and it don't work. It don't progress. It don't do anything to help. So if you were to try to implement that type of government, which I will say, okay, it's good in theory, but in uh, um, in practicality, it's not so good because of the simple fact of inherent what people call evils of people. Uh, it will never be practical unless you truly watch and fight for what you believe is correct, and don't become stagnant, and don't become polluted, and don't become a one mind thinking machine, uh, because it'll never work then. Then you become a you get dictatorships, and you get communism quickly, because as soon as someone thinks differently, they'll shoot you and kill you. They don't want that. I'm, I'm not trying to be a dickhead. I'm just trying to lay out what has happened in the past with countries that have tried to go with that. It worked for a little while, and then here come the greed. Here come the greed. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just trying to say this is things that if that ever happened, we would have to really look out for and watch out for, and not compromise our our beliefs. And I'm talking, well, okay, well, that's good there. Well, so I'll agree with it, even though that ain't so good here. Okay, you can't compromise. It's something that you're going to have to go with, keep going, or by the time you start giving away, just you've heard the old saying, you give an inch, they take a mile. Well, that's human nature. Uh, give them an inch, they'll take a mile. I know that. I'm bad at it myself. You give me an inch, I'm going to take 100 fucking miles if I can. That's human nature. Just saying. Uh, so, and everybody would do that. You know, not everybody. I ain't going to say everybody. I'm going to say a big chunk of the portion of people would do so. So you can't compromise. You got to hold steady with it. Hold the line, as people have been saying. If you go there, don't ever compromise. Don't, because as soon as you compromise, you just show the weakness in the armor, and they're going to exploit it, and they're going to exploit it as big and as quick and as damaging as possible. So, so yes, I've given a lot of thought about that lost generation. A lot. Um, to say it's wrong, maybe that was the wrong words to say. It just gives you more to think about. Is it totally wrong? Maybe not. It might be right. Okay. But you got to be prepared and be willing to fight every step of the way to keep it, or you'll never keep it, and it'll turn into a communist. In Bolivia, right now, Bolivia is sitting there going crying and boohooing that they believe their whole one true step of what they wanted had gone away, all because of because of a port blowing up. So if their beliefs are so fragile that a port blowing up can destroy their dreams, then how practical is that for them? Just saying. Good morning, Mister. Matter of fact, there's a big, yeah, I know. There's a big story. There's a big story about their port blowing up and how people believe that it's destroyed their dreams. They've done several of the what do you call it? Several documentaries on that, and interviewed several people on that, and they're going, oh my God, our dreams are now shattered. Instead of instead of saying, okay, well, we can rebuild this. We got the people to do this. We need the people to do this. Yeah, I know what people are saying. So how my views versus what the people that are theirs views. I'm giving you true fact of what people are saying that are there on the ground in documentaries, people who have been talked to, and these are Joe Blow general public people, from rich and famous over there to little Joe Blow off the street, that street urchin over there, and they're all saying the same thing. So I'm giving you facts about what they're saying. So what you're saying, their views will never allow that to happen. Their views will never allow that to happen in the country that you're talking about. So, because of a port blowing up, instead of saying, see, in your type of government, you would say, okay, we need people to work on this. What is your price tag? And let's get it fixed. And that government, that's what they would do instead of going, boo, 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 my dream has been shattered. So, just saying, I mean, I'm going by what they're saying, not what I'm saying. Have I ever said anything about that? No. And their society, if they were doing exactly what I said to Don, they would not have been exploited. That's how quick you're just proving how quick by your arguments, Lost Generation, how quick what you want can turn into a communism. That's what your arguments are actually doing. They got exploited by people in power, allowing their country to be exploited for the pocket in their, or the money in their pocket. So you're leading credence to my argument instead of running the credence away. Yes, really. Do you think someone came into Bolivia without lacing someone's pockets to steal their natural resources? You ain't gonna tell me someone did not make money to allow these other countries to exploit them from their country. And I'll be right back. I just ran out of coffee and I want my second cup of coffee. So I will be right back. And I'm willing to talk this. As you can see, I'm being very calm. I'm not cussing. I'm not calling you stupid. I'm not calling you a moron. I'm actually enjoying this discussion, Lost Generation. So please don't leave, and let's please continue the conversation. I will be right back. I need a cup of coffee. Holy shit! Look at them plates coming down now. Earlier they wanted you couldn't even hardly see it, but it was coming down. But then it was, on that. Yeah, but it's still like, hey, you're still over Buffalo, not here. No, it's not. Maybe you're right. Oh, I believe it. I believe it. All righty, I'm back. I apologize for that. I had, like I said, I needed to get some water and okay. Not so much Venezuela, Venezuela too much. The country. I do know Bolivia. I've actually looked into them as far as their cities and things like their city goes. And I do know that they are crying now because of a big, huge ammonia explosion that destroyed one of their major ports, and it hurt half the city. And they believe that was the end of their uh, their utopia because they instead of doing like I said, you should be relying on your neighbor and relying on what they have to say do and their competency of doing something to make the problem go away. They say now we got to rely on the government to make it fix this properly. Um, you know, I don't know why they have to rely on the government to do that. Especially when they're a government that has proven to put money in their pocket to exploit their natural resources. Well, when you're talking about Bolivia, then you switch over to that. There ain't much. There ain't. It don't have much into it, and but that's up to you. You can go with that. But I do know the Venezuelan government is more as corrupt, if not more corrupt than our government. They have totally fixed their elections to get people in power in Venezuela, and it ain't been for their best of interests. whatever they call him, I guess, president, or they call him governor, whatever. It's whatever they call him. Who's the man in power there, has exploited them now for years. And that's why there were such riots when he got voted in down there. So much so that Venezuela shut down their country to all aid from any country, and even told the United States not to bring their aid to their country. So we had to leave it at the border and pray that no one took their shit that we were leaving there at the border of a country where we can be. And we prayed that no one took their shit, and through it, I do know all that about Venezuelans. That I agree with, Spider Speed, and that's what I'm saying. But we got to, again, we can do that, but we got to watch out for the people of power, the people that want the power, and that would turn anything beneficial that we have gained into solely their gain and not the people's gain. You see what I'm saying? That's the whole thing I'm getting at. We got it. It's doable. It's doable. I've seen it done, but that's something they always fight against every freaking day. In northeast Arkansas, south or not northeast, excuse me, northwest and southwest Missouri, and part of central part of it, south central part of Missouri, have done almost just that. Basically, got rid of all the money. Yeah, very little money is exchanged hands. It's more of a trade and barter system. Okay, you with that trade and barter system. Okay, I hear this guy over here needs this. I see you have it, and I'll work for this, so I could go over there and offer him this because he's got something I need. Therefore, all parties involved benefit, not just one. It's capable of being done, but it's also something that has to be fought against continuously, or you're going to have one person being the sole beneficiary in that type of governing stuff. And when you start implementing that and seeing that and doing that, you will see what I mean. Even like-minded individuals can be corrupted. You got to remember that's also a God-given and inherited right. Even though man did it to themselves, supposedly, according to the Bible, man did it to themselves. But it's called free will. Free will was given to us by God. So it is an inherited right. So, and people will become greedy. Oh, I want this. Oh, I want this. I want that. I want this. Oh, I know. Oh. And then they're going to be the sole beneficiary if you don't fight against it and watch for it happening. Just saying. Or we'll go back into the same government that you say doesn't work, and that's the capitalism government. Because then you're going to say, oh, but yeah, that guy, he's doing right by the people. Yeah, he's benefiting all. He's getting all the money. He's getting all the whatever out of it. But he's still providing a service to the people. But he's the only one still being the sole beneficiary. He's gaining what he needs to get what he's giving. It's called capitalism, people. Just let you know. Not trying to be a dick, not trying to be mean. I'm giving you true harsh facts there, guys. So, and that's the way I see that. Um, right. That's exactly how quick. But to go from what Lost Generations was talking about there, that's how quick it can happen. Go to doing that, and then you're a step away from communism again. You see, it's a real harsh tightrope to walk. It ain't a path by no means. Most paths you keep your footing on. It's a freaking string that if you falter, that's how quick it can change from what you want it to be to what they want it. And that's why I laugh at these people that say that about, the Native American path. There ain't no such thing as a path. It's a little bitty string that you can palter and fall off of in a matter of a tenth of a second. There ain't no such thing as a path. And then they change your beliefs and they change your everything. And then they want to try to bring in Western culture into Eastern culture, which has nothing to do with each other except that you talk to each other. That's about it. Either one has buzzed in 10,000 years on their beliefs to change to the other belief. So that's why I love listening to these people say, "Oh, I've walked the Native American path." There's no such thing as a path. One of the most interesting learning experiences I ever seen was a young man use that uh, particular statement in a council elders meeting. That young man had to wear a little red thread around his neck. So he knew and understood there is no such thing as a path. It's as thin as a little red sewing thread. It's the same with any of these governments that you're talking about. It's a thread, a very thin thread, hey dog war, that you would have to walk on, not a path. It ain't clear as cut. You got to look at the big picture and see where the problems can come within and from without. Okay, outside of the spectrum of what you think should be right. There's problems that will constantly try to destroy that. Okay, and you got to think about these things when you do it. That's why so you know, that's why I don't budge off my Native American either. You can bring to me all the Western bull crap you want to bring. It has nothing to do with me. Oh, I agree with you on that, Steve, wholeheartedly. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. They put a price tag on you instead of you placing the price tag on yourself and thinking what you're worth and giving another person an opportunity to either agree or disagree with that price tag. I agree with you, Five Speed. I would go to the end of the earth agreeing with you on that because that is a very true statement. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just trying to give you things that you need to look out for, no matter where you go, what you do, how you try to implement anything. You can't. There is no compromise. Can't compromise, or that's when the chinks in your armor start to show, and you start faltering and failing. That will be the start of your faltering and failing. And there will be always continuous pushing from without and pushing from within to make that falter and fail. So someone can be more prosperous than the other person. It's called greed. It's human nature to be greedy. And we all know that. Period. End of statement. And no one can fight that. I mean, you can't tell me that there's something out there. I know I can be greedy. I want to eat more than I need to eat. I like to eat, but if it's past what I need, then don't you think that's being a little bit greedy? Some people would say that would be greedy if it's past what I need to eat. That's why I get. You can get fat. You can get lazy. Just saying. Depending on how you look at it, greed is everywhere in everything you do. Uh, the uh, the severity of the greed, that's a different story. Okay. Some are so severe that they want to take everything you have away from you and make it their own and keep it to be theirs. And you do not prosper from it. You now become the proverbial slave. So, Joe brought up some interesting points on that as well in the past. I've talked to him about that, which was quite interesting. And I like his points. But I won't talk about that until Joe's here. Talk about it more if he would want to. But right now, I know he's going places and things like that. But on that note, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I've almost been on for 2 hours. You all have a great great day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you may be. And I shall talk to you all later. And I am out.